Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alex. It's been a while since I posted on this channel. Today we're going to have an interesting topic or topics. We're going to look at intermittent fasting and why it is good for you, especially if you're the kind who doesn't like working out. It is a very good weight loss option for you to consider. We're also going to look at banking. If you're going to make money moves, like I always talk about on this channel, you must have a personal banker. Otherwise, where are you going to deposit all that money? Who is going to finance all those projects that you want to take on? Having a personal banker is a relationship. Are you in an abusive relationship with your banker, or you do not know that your banker treats you well or treats you wrong? There are principles that are universally accepted as guidelines to help bankers treat their customers well. I'm going to share some of those regulations. In Uganda, we have them as a consumer protection guidelines. These guidelines will enlighten you to show you if your banker is treating you well or if your banker is not treating you well. And they will help you know when and how to fight for your rights in case you're not being treated well by your banker. Stick around, let's watch. Cheers. Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about intermittent fasting. At the beginning of this year, those who saw my previous video about weight loss, working out is a very key ingredient to losing weight. But did you also know you can lose weight or maintain your weight without working out? In January, immediately after the festive holidays, I'd added about 5 kilograms. I'd moved from 80 kilograms to 85 kilograms. And in that same month of January, I had a lot going on. I did not have time to work out or to hit the football pitch to do my usual routines of running and football. But I still did not want to add weight. So I sat down and came up with a plan. I decided that I will do intermittent fasting and make it a lifestyle of mine, especially during that period when I didn't want to work out. So what do you understand by intermittent fasting? First of all, it is really basic. Those who have fasted before, that can be intermittent fasting. You can decide to, instead of doing the whole fast of 12 hours or 24 hours, you can do a 6-hour fast. Or you can decide that during the day you're not going to eat high calorie foods and you decide to stick to low calorie foods like fruits or peanuts. You see, it also involves you knowing your diet or knowing the science behind the foods. So you can talk to nutritionists, or there's a lot of information online about the kind of food and what percentage of calories or fat that kind of food has. So back to my experience, I sat down and decided that, you know what, I'm going to do intermittent fasting, because I was good at fasting before. When I was losing weight from about 102 to 80 kilograms, fasting and intermittent fasting was a key component to my routine. So I just cut out the working out and stuck to the managing my diet through intermittent fasting. What would I do, for example? Let me ask. I shifted my eating routines. I would only have breakfast and dinner in the evening. Or what would I have for breakfast? I would really have low calorie foods. Either I would have peanuts, or I would have fruits. Then, or I would just take green tea in the morning, and then I have the fruits or the peanuts at lunch, and then I have dinner in the evening. My dinner in the evening would be purely vegetable related dinner, either beans, peas, or groundnuts. I decided to stay away from meat completely. I would eat fish. Yes, fish. I would recommend fish. So whenever I felt like eating meat, I would buy fish instead. There are different kinds of fish. For example, here we have tilapia, we have Nile perch. I would switch between the two and cook them differently. My cooking would also change. I decided that, you know what, I'm going to use very healthy oil. I stayed away from the high fat oil. I continued using olive oil. Yes, in case I wanted to have something that is well fried, I would use olive oil. And then over the weekend, maybe over the weekend, still with my usual routine, I would pitch in some meat, some pork there, chicken, but mainly it will be chicken. I would stay away from red meat. And with that diet alone, I managed to lose the 5 kgs I had gained. I managed to come from 85 kilograms to 80 kilograms by April. Yes, because I weighed myself on April 24th again, and I had lost the 5 kgs that I had gained. So, but also before you decide to do this routine that I did, you have to first know what kind of body do you have, because your body dictates the kind of routine that you do take on. For example, there are two bodies that I know of. There are those who have high fat burning bodies and those that have low fat burning bodies. If your body is high fat burning body, yeah, the high fat burning body, you may need to eat more. Your routine for intermittent fasting may be different. You may not be on such a tight routine like I was on. Yes? Because your body, the food that you eat, your body burns it quickly, and then you will need to keep replenishing. You get what I mean? But if you're like me, whose body is a low fat burner, it means that the food that I eat, my body takes long to burn it. Just to utilize it. It utilizes it slowly. Yeah. So for me, that kind of routine easily worked for me, and that is why my body probably cannot sustain a plan that involves 3 meals per day. A plan that has breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My body cannot sustain it. I would add so much weight. So you have to understand your body type, but also the science behind our bodies. Generally, as we grow older, our metabolism reduces. The rate of metabolism for our bodies reduces. Yes, which means that your body may not be able to sustain. Most people above 30, their bodies are not able to sustain the 3 meals per day. Their bodies don't need that, especially with the lifestyles that we do have. Another aspect is lifestyle. Yes, what kind of lifestyle do you have? If you're a lot more involved in physical activities, yeah, your job requires physical activities, heavy lifting, heavy routine, then your meal plan will be different. Yes, for people that have corporate jobs where you wake up in the morning, you go into your car, you drive to work, you sit on your desk, on your computer. From there, you come back, same routine throughout the year. Then your body may not be able to sustain the 3 meals a day. You have to tone them down. Yes, and you also have to tone down the type of foods that you do eat. Yes, we are in an era where there's a lot of good food. Accessibility to good food is very good. It's very high. Yes, there is pizza, there's burgers, there's pork cooked in different ways, chicken cooked in different ways. So the temptation is high. So you can easily fall in the trap of overfeeding your body with unnecessary food. So you also have to understand that. But what age are you? If you're above your 30, then you have to tone down the rate at which you have your meals and the type of meals that you have. Is your body a high fat burner or a low fat burner? When you have lunch right now, how long does your body take to digest that lunch? Yes? Will you digest it within that period between the lunch and dinner, or by the time you reach dinner, you're not hungry and you're just eating because it's routine? Yes? So all those are facts that you need to look into. And the type of foods that you eat. Yes? Also you need to look into that. I know that has been helpful for anyone who is planning to lose weight or you want to maintain your weight. But of course the ideal situation is you manage your food, manage your diet, but also work out, because working out helps you. That is the ideal situation. But if you ever reach a situation whereby you don't have the time to work out, you do not have the energy, the gas, manage your diet, do intermittent fasting. Fasting is also good for your soul, for your spirit. We the Christians know that fasting is sometimes required if you're going to keep your relationship with God moving on very well. Yes? You know the Bible says sometimes fasting moves God. Yes? But that's a story for another day. Right now, I hope you've learned something. We're going to switch gears now. We're going to go into banking. If you're going to make money moves, you must have a personal banker. What kind of banker do you have, and how does your banker treat you? Are you in an abusive relationship with your banker? Today I'm going to share with you some guidelines that your banker is supposed to follow when handling you as their customer. There are universally accepted principles on how your banker is supposed to treat you. These principles have been incorporated in laws of many countries. In Uganda, we have them as the Consumer Protection Guidelines. And there are basically 3 principles that guide your relationship with your banker. The first principle is fairness. Your banker is supposed to treat you fairly. What does this mean? When they're increasing your interest rates, your banker is supposed to inform you of any change in your interest rates. Your banker is not supposed to charge you unconscionable interest rates. What does this mean? Your banker is not supposed to charge you or take advantage of you and charge you exorbitantly, unfairly. Your banker is not supposed to give you unconscionable terms. Yes? The terms of your agreement when you're going to get a facility or a loan, they should not be unconscionable, they should not be unfair. They should not be too pressing on your side. They're supposed to be fair terms. Yes? So when you go to bank, when you go to your banker and you notice that your banker is treating you unfairly, yes, you have a right to stand up. Yes? You have a right to protest against such unfairness. Still, on fairness, your banker is not supposed to discriminate against you in any way. Whether race, tribe, religion, gender, your banker is not supposed to discriminate against you. If your banker is discriminative, then you're in an abusive relationship. Bribery. We have bankers who ask for bribes to provide a service to their customers. This is very unfair and they should not be doing that. If your banker is asking for bribes in any way, scenarios are very many. We have bankers who ask for money for part of the loan sums so that they are able to expedite the loan processes for their customers. If your banker is doing that, then you are in a wrong bank, and that's an abusive relationship. Intimidation. Your banker is not supposed to intimidate you in any way. Yes? Or threaten you. They're supposed to give you good customer service. If your banker in any way is intimidating, yes, then you are in a wrong bank, and that's an unhealthy relationship for you. So your banker is supposed to ensure that you understand the terms and conditions of any service or product that you're receiving from them. Their loan agreements, they should explain them to you and ensure that you understand the terms and conditions. Yes? Your banker is not supposed to be unconscionable to you in any way. Let it be in terms of the loan agreement or even in their interest rates. they are not supposed to be unfair to you. Yes, we have bankers who take advantage of the situations of their customers and put unconscionable terms in the loan agreements, and also charge unconscionable interest rates. Your banker is not supposed to do that for you. Yes, your banker is supposed to be fair to you. The interest rates that your banker charges, is it unconscionable? Is it exorbitant? The charges that your banker charges you, are they exorbitant? We have bankers who charge exorbitant fees for very basic services that are provided. Services like valuation, yes, security, valuation of securities. If your banker is charging you unconscionable fees when it comes to such services, then that is an abusive relationship, and your banker is trying to take advantage of you. We have bankers who take on motor vehicles as collateral for incidents, and they will require you to put a tracker in that car or in that motor vehicle. Yes? And some bankers will charge exorbitant fees for just a basic tracker. If your banker is doing that, then you're in an abusive relationship and you should exit. Your banker is not supposed to lend to you recklessly. What does this mean? Yes, there are bankers who offer, yes, who want to lend so much that they do not take regard of the other requirements of lending, yes, such as cash flows, yes, your ability to pay. We have bankers who will go a step further and forge or help the customers forge cash flows. Yes, that is reckless lending. Yes, your banker is supposed to ensure that they lend to you responsibly. Responsible lending. Are you able to pay that loan? Yes, is the collateral sufficient? Those are all aspects of responsible lending. If your banker is not doing that, or if your banker is helping you or any other customer to forge any relevant documentations for their processes, then that is unfair and that is an abusive relationship. Your banker is not supposed to mislead you in any way. Yes, in their loan agreements, in their product, they are not supposed to mislead you. If your banker misleads you, then that is an unfair situation and you're in an unfair relationship. Yes, in their adverts, are they misleading? Do they say one thing and do another? Yes, that is also unfair. A second key principle that your banker has to have in mind while serving you is reliability. Is your banker reliable? Yes, are their services reliable, or you have to struggle to access your bank or any financial transactions? These days we are in an era of digital channels. Yes, that is a reliability that your banker must have. Yes, are you able to transact as and when you want? Reliability is key in your relationship with your banker. Another aspect is your information. How do they does your banker safeguard your information? Yes, when you're making money moves, you don't want your information to be in the daily gossips of our societies. Yes, when you're making money moves, privacy is very key, and confidentiality. Does your banker keep your information confidential, or after doing a transaction you'll find your information in other places? Yes, your customer information is supposed to be secure. Another aspect of reliability is secure banking. Yes, is your banking information secure? Or fraudsters can hack into your account and steal your money. That is another aspect of reliability that your banker is supposed to ensure. Another key principle that guides your relationship with your banker is transparency. Your banker must be transparent when dealing with you. Any information that you require, they're supposed to provide it with you. When dealing with your account or with any transactions with you, your banker must be transparent. Interest rates, does your banker disclose to you the interest rates? When they're increasing, are they transparent about it? When they're increasing interest rates and reducing interest rates? Or they just do it anyhow without informing you? Any information regarding your loan, does your banker inform you about it? Is it transparent? Is it readily available? The products that you take on, are they transparent? Do they tell you about the products that they're giving you? Any activities on your account, are they transparent about them? If your banker is not, then you're in an abusive relationship. There are very many principles, Yes, and very many ways that your banker is supposed to treat you. But if your banker is not treating you well, like I've explained in this video, then you're in an abusive relationship and you need to exit. Fees and charges on your account. Does your banker inform you about the any fees that incur on your account or the charges that incur on your account? Do they explain those fees and charges on your account to you in a proper and understanding way? Yes. What is the nature of those fees? Yes. Your banker is not supposed to charge you exorbitantly. Still on transparency. When your banker is marketing, how do they market their products to you? Do they market your products in a deceiving way? Or they accurately market their products and services? Yes. Do they do what they say they do in their promotional and marketing videos? Do they do what they say they will do? Yes. If they don't, then they're not being transparent and honest with you, the customer. And that is not a good relationship to be in. So generally, in this video, I hope it has been helpful. We've talked about intermittent fasting and why it's good for you. We've also talked about banking and why and how your banker should be able to treat you. Because banking is very key when you're making money moves. Until next time, subscribe and like. Cheers.